Good morning, all of you. Welcome to your English language live class. So the chapter which we are going to do today is synthesis of sentences, and this is the last chapter of your test syllabus. So let us understand what is synthesis. Okay, so synthesis is the process by which a number of simple sentences are combined into one new sentence, and that new sentence can be a simple sentence, it can be a compound sentence, or it can be a complex sentence, or it can be a mixture of all the three. Okay, but here in your syllabus you have only these three sentences, so we will learn how to combine simple sentences into a simple sentence, how to combine simple sentences into a compound sentence, and how to combine simple sentences into a complex sentence, right? So synthesis means basically to combine. Okay, when you combine two or more simple sentences, then you have different rules, like how you will combine two sentences that you get a simple sentence as a result, and then how you combine two or more simple sentences to get a compound sentence, and how you combine two or more simple sentences to get a complex sentence in the result. Okay, so let us find out. The first thing is we are going to learn how to combine, how to synthesize simple sentences to form another simple sentence. So there are 6 methods to do that. Okay, by using a participle, by using a noun or a noun phrase in apposition, by using participle with its independent subject, by using an infinitive, by using an adverb or an adverbial phrase, by using a prepositional phrase containing a noun or gerund. Okay, so let us learn about each one of them. First, by using a participle. So if you remember what is a simple sentence, who can tell me what is a simple sentence? Let me see. Okay, Divyanshi, what is a simple sentence?
Ma'am, a simple sentence is a sentence which has one finite verb.
Yes, which has one finite verb. So while combining two simple sentences, you have to make sure that there should be only one finite verb in your sentence. Okay, so let us look at the example. He went to the field, he saw a snake. So these are two separate simple sentences, and you have to combine, you have to join these two sentences in such a way that you get a simple sentence only. Okay, so by using a participle, as you can see that the subject in both the sentences is the same. Fine. So you know the rule of using a participle when we were doing non-finite verbs, then also we did this. So going to the field, he saw a snake. Okay, he went to the field, he saw a snake. So instead of writing he over here, we can replace he went with a participle, that is going. So going to the field, comma, he saw a snake. So if you see over here, in the first part you do not see any finite verb, but in the second part there is a finite verb. That means this is a simple sentence since it contains only one finite verb. All right, so this is how you can use a participle when both the subjects are the same. Then second one, she lost her ring, she began to cry. Again you see the subject in both the sentences is the same. Having lost her ring, she began to cry. So this is how you can change, you can combine two simple sentences into a simple sentence by using a participle. This you can do when you will have the subjects, the same subject in both the sentences. All right. Next is by using an infinitive. How can you use an infinitive? I shall go to the market, I shall buy flour there. So what we'll do is I shall go to the market to buy flour. So instead of using I shall again, okay, the subject and the helping verb again, we will replace it with an infinitive. So to buy. Okay, this is an infinitive. And if you will notice, you will see that there is only one finite verb that makes it again a simple sentence. Next sentence, next example, she has 4 children, she must educate them. She has 4 children to educate. Okay, so again we will have only one finite verb. So therefore this sentence is a simple sentence. So you have to make sure that when you are combining two simple sentences and it is asked that you have to combine two simple sentences into another simple sentence, then you have to make sure that there should be only one clause, one finite verb. Okay, because if there be two finite verbs, then it will be either a complex sentence or a compound sentence, but not a simple sentence. Laksh, are you eating something? Don't eat. Yes, next is by using a noun or phrase in apposition. Now, what is the meaning of noun or phrase in apposition? That means when you are using two separate description for the same person. Okay? Like, for example, here, Mr. Iyer is my teacher, he lives in Chennai. So, Mr. Iyer, then comma, my teacher. So, these are the two nouns. Okay? One is noun, another is noun phrase, which are kept in apposition. That means we are referring to the same person. Right? Like our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Mr. Narendra Modi. So both the things is the same, referring to the same person. That is what is meant by apposition. So Mr. Iyer, comma, my teacher, comma, lives in Chennai. So this is how we will change the two. We will combine two simple sentences into one simple sentence. Fine. Next, Kalidas was a great Sanskrit poet. He was the author of Shakuntala. So similarly, we will place a noun phrase after the name Kalidas. Kalidas, comma, a great Sanskrit poet, comma, was the author of Shakuntala. So this is another way. Next, by using participle with its independent subject. Now, here, if you see the they don't, the people went to the canal. So here, if you will see the subject in both the sentences, the subject is different. Okay, here the subject is the day and here the subject is the people. So we cannot follow the first rule by using participle. Okay, there in both the sentences the subject was the same, but here the subject, when the subjects are different, then how do we use participle? We will use participle in this manner: that they having dawned, comma, the people went to the canal. Okay, you will not write it like this, having the day dawned. That will be incorrect. Then it was a busy day. I could not find time to have a talk with my friend. Here again, you will see that there are two different subjects. So again, you will be using participle with its independent subject. So what is the independent subject? It. Okay, the first subject is the independent subject. So it being a busy day. Why are we using being? Because of the presence of the word was. Was is a be verb. So instead of be, we will be using being. It be instead of was, we will be using being. It being a busy day, comma, I could not find time to have a talk with my friend. So this is how you will combine two simple sentences which have two different subjects, okay, into a simple sentence by using a participle. So you can use participle. We have done two rules based on of combining two simple sentences into a simple sentence by using participle. One was the first one where the subjects were the same, and here the subjects are different. So this is the method of combining two sentences. Okay. Fine. So the next thing is by using an adverb or an adverbial phrase. Rani reached the playground. She was punctual. So this one is easy. Rani reached the playground punctually. So you have to either use an adverb or an adverbial phrase. Fine. So you will see that we are using phrase. We are not using clause. Why? Who can answer this question? Why are we not using adverbial clause or noun clause? Anyone? Yes, Sudhanshu.
Ma'am, they have a different in meaning.
Clauses have meaning.
Having a
Okay, phrases also have some meaning. Though not complete, they don't make a complete sense. Still, they make some sense.
yeah.
Good that you tried. Anyone else? Yes, Tasneem.
Ma'am, maybe because as in a clause there is a finite verb and there is already a finite verb in the sentence.
Very good. So we are not using clause because the property, the basic characteristic of a clause is that it must have a finite verb, but we do not require any other finite verb, right? That is why we are using phrase and not clause when we are combining two simple sentences into a simple sentence. Good. All right. Next, he will succeed. This is sure. So there are two ways of writing the answer for this one. He will surely succeed or he will succeed for sure. Okay, so when you are using surely, that means you are using an adverb. When you are using for sure, that means you are using an adverbial phrase. Okay. Then by using a prepositional phrase containing a noun or gerund, let us have a look at the example. I went to home, I found my servant absent. Okay, so how will we do it? On going home, I found my servant absent. So you will start with a preposition and you will place a gerund or a noun after that. And then you will continue writing your sentence as it is. Then we started a society. It was called the Happy Friends. Okay. We started a society. It was called the Happy Friends. So we started a society under the name. So under is your preposition. The name is your noun. Okay. The Happy Friends. So this is how we can change. We can combine two simple sentences. Here it will be a full stop. Sorry. We can combine two simple sentences into another simple sentence by using a prepositional phrase. What is a prepositional phrase? Any phrase which starts with a preposition. Okay. Fine. So if you people have understood all the 6 rules, 6 methods, so we will practice. Okay. So there are 2, 3, 6 sentences. I'm giving you some time, 5 to 7 minutes time to write down the answer for all the 6 sentences quickly. Now you have to identify which rule you have to apply, okay? Because that thing will not be given to you in the exam. So you have to combine the following sentences, okay? First one, the girl ran after the thief, she caught him. Yes, Shubhi?
Running after the thief, the girl caught him.
Okay, running after the thief, comma, the girl caught him, or on running after the thief, comma, the girl caught him. Fine. I hope all of you have written the same answer. If not, then please write down this answer. Anyone having a different answer other than this? Okay, so all of you have used participle only. Second, I have found a pot, it was broken. It was not broken. Sorry for the typing error. Yes, Divyanshi.
Having found a pot, it was broken.
No. Can you use a phrase over here? Or a participle again? Not a phrase, but a participle.
Finding a pot, it was broken.
You can use a past participle also. Okay, let me see. Akshita?
Ma'am, I found a broken pot.
Yes, I have found a broken pot. Okay, so here we are using past participle. I have found a broken pot. Next, the tourists reached Jaipur. It is known as the Pink City. Yes, Athar.
The tourists reached Jaipur, the Pink City.
After Jaipur, you will place a comma and then you will write the Pink City. Correct. The tourists reached Jaipur, comma, the Pink City. If suppose the instruction is that you have to combine the sentence as it is given over here, so and it is not mandatory that you have to combine these two sentences into a simple sentence. So there are other ways also of writing the sentence. Okay, the tourists reached Jaipur, which is known as the Pink City. But when we will be using which is known as the Pink City, then it will be a complex sentence. Okay, so there can be more ways of combining a sentence. But here, since we have done only the combination of simple sentences into a simple sentence, so we will be sticking to this, to Athar's answer. The tourist reached Jaipur, comma, the Pink City. Next, he wrote a letter. He wrote it with a pen. Yes, Tasneem.
He wrote a letter with a pen.
Correct. He wrote a letter with a pen. Next, the chief guest arrived. The function began. Yes, Arav.
The chief guest arrived, comma, function began.
No. You can mute yourself. See, why are we not using that apposition thing? Because the two things are not referring to the same subject. Okay. So you have to use some other method. Aradhya?
Yes, ma'am. Beginning the function, the chief guest arrived.
No. Siddhi?
The function began when the chief guest arrived.
See, the two subjects are different. Okay. So what was the rule when the subjects were different? You can use a participle over here. I'm giving you a hint. Yes, Divyanshi.
The chief guest having arrived, the function began.
Yes, the chief guest having arrived, the function began. The chief guest having arrived, comma, the function began, full stop. Fine, last one is going to Calcutta. He has to complete his project. Yes, Shreya. You're not audible, child. You're not audible.
Ma'am, I am audible now.
Yes, yes.
He is going to Calcutta to complete his project there.
Very good. So you've used an infinitive over here. He is going to Calcutta to complete his project. Okay. To complete his project only. You will not be using there. All right. So I hope this thing is clear to everyone. Please lower down your hands. Moving on to the synthesis of two or more simple sentences to form a complex sentence. Okay. See, now here we are using clauses everywhere. By using three methods are there, by using a noun clause or an adjective clause or an adverb clause. Fine. So before starting, Siddhi, why have you raised your hand? Yes, so before starting with the synthesis, let me see how many of you remember about what are complex sentences. Quickly. Yes, Sudhanshu. What is a complex sentence?
Ma'am, in joining the coordinating conjunction form a sentence. Joining sentence with the coordinating conjunction.
Coordinating conjunction, no, you are it's incorrect. Coordinating conjunction will give you a compound sentence. Yes, Khushi?
The coordinating.
Complex sentences are joined by subordinating conjunctions.
Yes, they are joined by subordinate conjunctions. Okay, what else?
Ma'am, they have more than one finite verb.
Yes, so they have more than one finite verb, complex sentences. Okay, and they have one principal clause and a subordinate clause. Subordinate clauses are those which start with a subordinating conjunction. So this is the definition of a complex sentence. So you have to keep in mind that when you will be joining two simple sentences, then your the complex sentence should have two clauses. Okay, as many simple sentences will be there, those many clauses should be there, and no, those many finite verbs should be there, not clauses. So let us see the first one by using noun clause. A good education is the best to succeed in life. Full stop. He believes this. So these are two simple sentences. We have to join these two simple sentences into a complex sentence. So we will start like this. He believes that a good education is the best road to success in life. No, it was correct. A good education is the best road to success in life. He believes this. He believes that a good education is the best road to success in life. Okay, so if you see that a good education is the best road to success in life is what? It is a noun clause. Here you have a finite verb. In the previous clause also you have a finite verb. So this is number one, this is number two. So there are two finite verbs in this sentence. Okay, so there were two simple sentences which we have combined. So there are two finite verbs also. Next, could he depend upon Nino? Alex did not know this. Alex did not know whether he could depend on Nino. So whether he could depend on Nino is your noun clause. Okay, and your finite verbs are there, as you can see, did and could. So we are getting a complex sentence. Then by using an adjective clause, the slave had to fight with a huge lion. The lion was kept in cage. So how are we going to use an adjective clause? The slave had to fight with a huge lion, which was kept in a cage. All these things you people have already done, but we are doing it under a separate heading now. Okay, this you have done in clauses. So the slave had to fight with a huge lion. Then, as you can see that in the second simple sentence, this is something related to lion has been given to us. So we can use it as a description. And when we describe a noun, that means that is an adjective. So here a clause is describing a noun, that means it is an adjective clause. So which was kept in a cage. Instead of lion, we are using which. And this is our subordinate clause. Yes. Next, I'm a prince, trouble had driven me from home. I am a prince whom trouble had driven from home. So here you will not be using me again. Okay, see, the word me has been dropped. Why? Because this is an object, isn't it? So we have used a subordinating conjunction whom, which denotes an object. So you won't be using me again over here. I'm a prince whom trouble had driven from home. That's it. And whom trouble had driven from home is your adjective clause. Can you locate the finite verbs in the two clauses? Priyanshi?
Ma'am, am and had.
Good. Am and had. Correct. So these are two finite verbs. Then by using an adverb clause, the examination was over, the boys rejoiced. The boys rejoiced when the examination was over. So this is telling you adverb of time. Okay, when the examination was over is your adverb clause. Then he worked hard, his object was to gain promotion. He worked hard so that he might gain promotion. So this is again your adverb clause. Okay, so these are the three rules, these are the three methods in which, using which you can combine, you can synthesize two or more simple sentences into a complex sentence. So you have to make sure while combining the sentences into a complex sentence that your your result should have a finite verb and it should begin with a subordinating conjunction. Okay, so this is what you have to keep in mind. Now I think we will have, yes, we will practice now. 5 questions. Take 5 minutes. See, here it has been clearly mentioned that you have to combine the following sets of simple sentences into one complex sentence. So now you cannot have any other answer to the questions. Okay. Yes, Sudhanshu. Virtue is its own reward. This is certain.
It is only what which is certain.
Which is certain?
Yes,
No. Yes, Shubhi?
This is certain that virtue is its own reward.
Yes, this is certain that virtue is its own reward. Okay, so you will be using a noun clause over here, not an adjective clause. Next, I saw the boy, he had won the medal. Yes, Athar?
I saw the boy who had won the medal.
Very good. I saw the boy who had won the medal. Arav, the well was deep, no one knew its depth. Yes, I have allowed you to unmute. I think he's facing some network issue.
Yes.
Yes.
Ma'am, the well.
Right. Okay, let us hear it from someone else also. Divyan?
No one knew the depth of the well which was deep.
No one knew the depth of the well which was deep. Is it making a sense? Try. You have reached the correct answer. Okay, I'll give you a hint. Don't use its depth.
No one knew.
No one knew.
No one knew the depth of the well.
Don't use depth. Don't use these two words. Its depth. Drop them. No one knew what?
The well's depth.
You have to use depth.
No.
Yes, Tasneem?
No one knew how deep the well was.
No one knew that the well was deep. Okay? That the well was deep, as simple as that. Fine. Next, bring me the basket. It is on the second shelf of the bookcase. Shubi?
Bring me the basket that is on the second shelf of the case.
Yes, which is on the second shelf of the bookcase, or that is on the second shelf of the bookcase.
Yes.
Fine. The last one, in the battle, Jack fought very well. The result was that the captain asked him to join his band of soldiers. Yes, Divyanshi?
Jack fought very well, as a result of which the captain asked him to join his band of soldiers.
As a result of which the captain asked him to join his band of soldier. Anything else? Okay, that can also be one possibility.
Ma'am, can we write like this as well? Jack fought very well, for which the captain asked him to join his band of soldiers.
For which the captain asked him to join his band of soldiers. No, here for is acting as a preposition. Okay, not a conjunction. Can't we write it like this? In the battle, Jack fought so well that the captain asked him to join his band of soldiers. Okay, so well that the captain asked him to join his band of soldiers. So that this is the most appropriate answer. Please write it down. In the battle, Jack fought so well that the captain asked him to join his band of soldiers. So we'll stop here today. I hope you will have understood till here.